Hello everyone, and welcome to this session on Identifying Indicators of Attack, or IOA. This lesson is part of the CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst course, and it focuses on understanding how to recognize signs of potential cyber attacks before they fully unfold. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to compare indicators of attack, or IOA, with indicators of compromise, or IOC, explain the different types of network IOA, categorize various endpoint IOA, and describe application IOA. Understanding IOA is crucial because it allows cybersecurity analysts to detect malicious activity earlier in the attack chain, sometimes before significant damage occurs. Let's start with a fundamental distinction: indicators of attack versus indicators of compromise. An indicator of attack refers to the behaviors or patterns that suggest an attack is likely underway or imminent. For example, unusual traffic spikes, irregular peer-to-peer communications, OS, or repeated scanning of ports. These are warning signs that tell us what the attackers are trying to do. On the other hand, an indicator of compromise is digital evidence that confirms an attack has already occurred. For instance, malware already installed on a system or files altered by a threat actor. Think of it this way: IOA attempts to answer the question, what are the attackers trying to accomplish? IOC answers the question, what damage has already been done? It's also important to note that not every suspicious activity is conclusive evidence of an attack. Sometimes threat actors probe systems but fail to exploit them. IOAs focus on behaviors, not specific tools. And analysts must look at a combination of behaviors rather than a single symptom. Now, let's examine network-based indicators of attack. Since the network serves as the perimeter defense line, it is one of the most important sources of IOA. Abnormal network traffic can manifest in two main ways: through its volume or through its type of activity. Unusual traffic spikes. These are sudden, unexpected surges in bandwidth utilization. They can be caused by normal events like scheduled backups or updates, but they can also signal a cyber attack. Bandwidth consumption. A gradual but sustained increase in network usage may point to malicious activity, such as data being exfiltrated, activity on unexpected ports. If traffic appears on ports that are not normally used, this can be a sign that an attacker is tunneling data or bypassing security measures. Stealth transmissions are secretive communications designed to avoid detection. Irregular peer-to-peer communication. Normally, clients talk to servers, but if clients start talking directly to other clients in unusual patterns, this could mean an endpoint is compromised. Beaconing. Compromised devices may phone home to an external command and control server, also known as a C2 server. These communications allow attackers to send instructions and receive stolen data. Hiding transmissions. Attackers often disguise beaconing inside common protocols, like HTTP, to blend in with normal traffic. However, anomalies in the volume or direction of traffic can still give them away. Threat actors often conduct ping sweeps to see which devices are active, or port scans to find open services they can exploit. Such scans, originating from unknown or external IP addresses, are clear IOA symptoms. Finally, unauthorized devices connected to a network, whether wired or wireless, are a major red flag. These devices could be used for eavesdropping or for launching attacks from inside the perimeter. Endpoints. Laptops, desktops, servers, and other devices are often the target of attacks. Recognizing IOA at the endpoint level is critical. High-volume resource consumption, processor usage. Malware may consume significant CPU cycles, causing slowdowns. Memory usage. Abnormal consumption of RAM can indicate malicious software loading into memory. Drive capacity. Unexpected loss of disk space can be a sign of malware activity or data staging for exfiltration. The operating system itself often holds evidence of malicious activity. Look for unfamiliar processes or abnormal process behavior, file system changes or registry modifications, unauthorized scheduled tasks, privilege escalations, or unusual account changes. Unauthorized applications that install silently can serve as IOA. These often bypass normal user permissions and run in the background. Another endpoint indicator is data being copied to specific servers, often used as staging areas before being exported outside the organization. Applications can also reveal suspicious activity. Let's look at the key indicators. If an application suddenly behaves differently, producing unexpected output, failing services, or experiencing interruptions, this could indicate compromise. Threat actors may create new user accounts within application databases. This allows them to bypass operating system controls and directly access application-level resources. Any unexpected new account should be investigated immediately. Applications with communication features like built-in file transfer tools may suddenly begin sending data externally. This is a strong sign of compromise. Since logs are critical for tracking activity, attackers often alter or delete them to hide their presence. A modified log is itself an IOA and should trigger immediate investigation. Now, let's pause for some quick knowledge checks. What is the difference between an IOA and an IOC? Answer: an IOA indicates a potential or ongoing attack. An IOC is evidence of a past successful attack. If an endpoint is consuming an unusually high amount of memory, what might this suggest? Answer: malware loading into RAM. What do we call it when an infected device repeatedly tries to connect to a command and control server? Answer: beaconing. Take a moment to reflect on these before we move on. Let's recap what we've covered today. Indicators of attack are behaviors that suggest malicious intent before a compromise fully takes place. Indicators of compromise are digital artifacts confirming that an attack has already occurred. Network IOA include unusual traffic, stealth transmissions, scans, and rogue devices. Endpoint IOA include abnormal resource consumption, operating system and software evidence, and signs of data exfiltration. Application IOA include unusual activity, unauthorized new accounts, outbound communications, and modified logs. Together, these insights help analysts proactively defend systems and respond effectively to threats. This material also maps directly to the CompTIA CYSA Plus exam objectives, specifically Objective 1.2, Analyzing Indicators of Potentially Malicious Activity, and Objective 1.4, Comparing and Contrasting Threat Intelligence and Threat Hunting Concepts. Thank you for joining me for this session. Continue practicing with labs and review your notes to strengthen your ability to identify IOAs in real-world scenarios.